against Vice President Harris. Trump's win is being called the greatest comeback in American political history, and now his transition team is preparing to shift its operation from New York City to Florida. ABC News senior reporter Catherine Faulders joins me now for more. Hi, Catherine. So what's the latest on how Trump's team is planning for his return to the White House?
Diane, they've already shifted their transition operation down here to Florida. It was in New York for some time, but now they are fully operational down here. Typically, these transition operations would be in Washington, D.C. The federal government actually provides spaces for the campaigns to get ready for the transition. The Trump team decided not to use that, so they will be based down here in Florida, and they are already really laying the groundwork for all the vetting for those people that Trump wants to put in his cabinet. We know they've been doing this for quite some time, and I'm told by sources that Trump has multiple meetings on the books to present candidates to him and who they are and who we could put in top cabinet positions, if you will. So they're really hitting the ground running here. All of this work will take place down here. It's unclear when we'll see the former president next, when we can ask him questions about this. But we've done reporting on who he plans to put in his administration, and we'll see if any of those names that we've been reporting on and talking to you about over the past few weeks end up panning out.
So, Catherine, what are you hearing about potential cabinet members or even the actions he could take on day one?
Yeah, look, so we know that Trump has been seriously focused on those top law enforcement positions, the Attorney General, the FBI, the U.S. attorneys, for example, across the country. Who he's going to put in the White House counsel's office, the top White House lawyer in the administration. And some of the names that we've reported on, frankly, are those that are in line with what Trump has been saying publicly about political retribution, if you will. He said that he wanted to jail Democrats and people who really don't do what he says. So we've heard, as you know, we've talked about her often here, a judge by the name of Eileen Cannon, for example. She's that judge that threw out Trump's classified documents case. Her name has been floated for Attorney General. There's also other people on the list, like Jeffrey Clark, for example, who's been indicted and was an unindicted co-conspirator in Jack Smith's January 6th case. A lot of these people, it's not clear whether they would be able to get background checks, how they would be able to see classified information in the White House. So that is something that still obviously needs to be ironed out, but he is thinking about putting people in his administration who publicly have vowed that they would essentially retaliate against people who speak out against Donald Trump.
The sources have also told ABC News that Trump's team didn't want to use the FBI to conduct background checks for those he wants to put in his administration. What's the latest on that?
And I'm told, at least right now, that they still don't plan to use the FBI to do background checks. Now, that is unheard of. We know that when cabinet members are going through the confirmation process, the Senate wants, obviously, to see an FBI background check. So I don't know how the Senate will respond to that. And keep in mind, the reason why they don't want to use background checks is because so many people that Trump wants to put in his administration wouldn't be able to get background checks. They, some of them at least, have been indicted, have a criminal record. So it's their workaround around that aspect of it, which of course has raised serious alarms as it relates to national security issues and who will be able to view classified information. So that will be something that will be fascinating to watch in terms of how they are able to transition back into the White House if they are, in fact, and if they do, in fact, put people or want to put people in the cabinet who may not be able to pass security clearance.
All right, senior reporter Catherine Faulders, thank you. And thank you for watching. I'm Diane Macedo. The news never stops, and neither do we. You can find ABC News Live anywhere you stream live news, on the ABC News app or on abcnews.com. And we have a lot more news for you after the break. Stay with us.